This is your girl, Coach T, aka Doc T, coming at you live. Happy Thursday. It is Thankful Thursday. So just wanted to come at you on some real stuff today. So y'all heard of that saying, kind of cliche saying, you know, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We've all heard that. We probably have all said that, right? So, but I'm gonna have to correct that. You know, let's correct that. Let's do what the rich people do. How can you, me, you know, regular ordinary people become what we see on TV or the news, become the rich? Because if you think about it, most of us don't want to do what the rich people do. How did they get to where they are? How did Warren Buffett get to where he is today? Bill Gates get to where he is today? How did Oprah Winfrey get to where she is today? How did you know, any wealthy person that you see on TV, Richard Branson, how did he get to where he is today? So instead of saying that, sitting in your little bubble, say, okay, if they did what they did to get to where they are today, how can I do the same thing to get to where I want to go? And you can. You just have to do what the rich people do if you want to be wealthy. So my team and I, we've been reading this book book club called The 12 Pillars. It's by Jim Rohn. If you've never heard of Jim Rohn, the most exceptional public personal development speaker of all time, recommend him. Go to YouTube, listen to everything he has on YouTube. Your life will be so much better. Okay, so 12 pillars. So we've been going through some of the pillars. We went through probably about 6 or 7 of them already. So, and my phone's going off, y'all. Sorry about that. So first pillar was if you want things to change, you have to change. So you as an individual, if you're in your life, you're like, man, job is crazy, this car sucks, my home life, you know, wife and kids, or husband and kids, or whatever and kids, not going as well as I want to, you know, me and my husband are drifting apart, me and my wife are drifting apart, I don't know who my kids are anymore. It starts with you. You have to change. So if you want things to be better in your home life and in your work life, you have to change. Period. So you need to figure out, okay, what am I not doing? What can I be doing better to make things better? So you have to, you know, go inside yourself. What am I not doing that I can do? Or what can I do better to make things better? Can I spend more time with my kids instead of working all the time? Can I send my husband, my wife something, you know, little something? It could be a little card, thank you for what you do for the family. Just a little sentiment, you know, or, you know, date night. Can I, you know, spend more time with my significant other, get a babysitter, and go on a date night once a week. Doesn't have to be real big, just something that he or she likes to do. You know? So you gotta change from within. So if you want things to change, you have to change. Second pillar, you have to do 3-dimensional fitness. What does that mean? 3-dimensional fitness. When we think of fitness, we only think of the physical part. Now, big on that, you know, being physically fit, but you also have to be spiritually fit. And that's different for different people, but for me, that means my walk with God is the most important walk ever. So my relationship with the Father is super important to me, and so I make sure I spend time with Him every single day. And then I do my mental fitness. I do my personal development every single day so that I can be better. And my physical fitness, I make sure I eat right. Make sure I'm fueling my body with the right kinds of foods every single day. Making sure I'm getting my movement in, whatever that is, whether it's cardio, whether it's weight training, whether it's, high intensity interval training, walking, whatever that is. That is 3-dimensional fitness. You are a whole person. You are a 3-part being. You cannot separate yourself. So you need to make sure each of the parts that you have are fit for you to be wholly fit or fit totally. So that's the second pillar. And third pillar is that you have to cultivate your relationships. You have to have divine relationships. And the relationship you have with your spouse and your kids and your household, those are the most important relationships you have. And you have to cultivate that garden. It's like a garden, right? So what you got to do with your garden, you got to plant the seeds, you got to pull up the weeds, you got to water it, you got to make sure all the plants get lots of sunshine in order for it to grow. And when it grows, you still got to make sure you keep watering that seed. You keep making sure you're getting in there and pulling out the weeds, making sure that garden is the most beautiful garden. So those are your relationships. Whatever relationships that you have to cultivate them. You have to make sure you're communicating with your spouse, communicating with your children, communicating with your parents, your friends, this and that. So that's how you cultivate those divine relationships, because you need people. You can't be out here doing it by yourself. It's not gonna work. Whatever you're doing, you have to have people to help you. If you think it's just gonna be you and Jesus and that's all you need, that sounds good in theory. Totally sounds good. But like my pastor said, it's just not true. It's just not true. You need people. So you just have to cultivate those relationships that you have. And any bad relationships that you have, relationships that don't serve you, that's also another pillar. You might want to think about, just withdrawing from people that don't serve you. Just put them in a category. It's like, okay, I can't really hang out with you because where I'm going, you're not going. You're just not ready yet. So I love you, but I just can't. We can't hang out like that because you're putting me in a bad space, and I'm trying to go somewhere. I have a goal, and you're just not the person I need to hang out with that's going to help me accomplish my goals. So, not saying you don't love them. You just have to, withdraw and say, when you're ready to come out of what you're doing and want to do something better, then we can hang out. But right now, we just can't hang out. So, some people you just have to love from afar. And it may be people in your own family. So just saying that happens too. That's another pillar. Write down your goals. So that's what rich people do. They write down their goals. Some of them every single day. What are their daily goals? What are your monthly goals? What are your yearly goals? And what do you want to do 5 years from now? Where do you want to be? You want to have, I'm a doctor, but I want to have my own practice. So I write that down. In 5 years, have my own practice. But then I have to do baby step goals to get to that. How much money do I need to save? What kind of, things I need to have. The nurses, I have to have billers, I have to have front desk people. Where do I want the practice to be? So all those little bitty steps you have to do, and then you do the daily things that you need to do to get to your 5-year goal. So you have to write those goals down. It's very important that you do that. And we talked a little bit about the last pillar, but I just want to end it with this. You are the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with. If you're the smartest person in your group and you're trying to be wealthy, you need a new group. Just got to put it out like that. Les Brown said that. If you are the richest person in your group and you're trying to be wealthy, you need a new group. Need a new set of friends. Because you need to hang out with the people that you want to be. If you want to be rich, you need to be around some rich people. If you're in, let's say you're in network marketing. If you want to be at the top, 1% of your company, you need to hang out with some people that are at the top 1% of the company. Because they've been there. They know what to do. So you need to get those nuggets so that you can do what they did to get to where you want to go, to get to where they are, right? So we can't just complain. We do a lot of murmuring. We do a lot of complaining, this and that, and, this country and blah, blah, blah. But what are you doing to change yourself, to change your situation, to make it better? You got to put forth an effort to make your situation better. When you make your situation better, guess what? You can help somebody else make their situation better. But if you're not, you're sitting at home doing nothing, nothing will change. Period. You have got to change. It all goes back to personal development. You want to do something, you want to be great. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You can want to be a doctor like me. You got to put the best foot forward. I have a doctor on here. Dr. Zoltz, how are you? He knows. You got to put your best foot forward. If you want to be something great, you want to do something great, you want to make a big impact in your community, you got to change. It starts with you. Period. That is all I got for you, family. Let's just stop complaining about rich people. Let's just become rich people. How about that? Let's do that. I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. Okay? Let's go together. Let's be rich. Richer than rich. Let's get this life. Alright, that's all I got. I will talk to you later. Peace.